Welcome to the state of PA football as PA Football News presents its weekly look at high school football across the state.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets held out of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in.
Did you know there are 555 total high school football programs in the state? Did you also know there are a total of 58 college programs ranging from D1 to D3 in the state of Pennsylvania? Whether you're a bulldog, a lion, a crusader, an eagle, or a millionaire, we got you covered.
You already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and fight and die.
Here at PA Football News, we got you covered. And now, your host, Billy Splain.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the State of PA Football. This is our bracket breakdown show for the 2025 brackets. My name is Billy Splain, and yes, we are not moving because Billy Splain messed up the video. So we're going to kind of do this in a podcast sort of method. To my left, your right, is Ed Weaver from Circle W Sports. To my right, your left, is Jared Samuel from District 2. Down below me, to my right, your left, that's Travelin' Matt. And to his left, your right, is Willie, everybody in District 1 knows me, McGonigal. So here we go with the show. I'm going to plug it in, and let's hope this works. On to the bracket breakdown for the 2025 bracket breakdown show.
And welcome to the State of PA Football. I'm Billy Splain. This is my staff around me. We've got Jared over here. We've got Ed over here. We've got Traveling Matt down here. We've got Willie down here. We are going to break down all 6 brackets like nobody else can. Because why? We travel around the state, especially Matt down here. We travel around. Our guys know these teams. We talk to all of our staff, and our staff knows these teams. No disrespect to your local reporters. They do awesome job. We love Trib Live and PG, and we love all the other local papers that do stuff, Penn Live and everybody. We have a statewide view that nobody else has. So let's get started. I first want to ask everybody, what are the big surprises this year? We already know the answers to this, right? We have a secret.
Who wants to go first? Matt, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's the Whippeal trying to figure out what teams are going to send to the state finals this year after not having a state champ last year. I think it's maybe a changing of the guard out there where, the Quips and TJ and 4A maybe aren't the top teams in the Whippeal. North Allegheny having a tough season in 6A as well. So I'm interested to see how the Whippeal does in the finals. They definitely have some teams, we'll talk about them later, like Fort Cherry and Clareton and Avonworth and Pine Richland. Definitely some big boppers in there, but across the bracket, some changing in the guard for the Whippeal, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. My big surprise this year is I have 2, actually. Audrey Charter down in Philadelphia, a new team, and here they are, first year. Kind of reminds me of Executive Charter, if you remember when they first jumped in.
Yep.
Yeah, when they jumped in, they went right to the playoffs, and they had a good year. So Audrey is doing the same thing. They're catching people by surprise. I don't know if that's we don't know what they got, and they got a lot of talent kind of thing or what. That's a big surprise. And also, if you'd have told me that Berwick was going to be 10-0 at the start of this season, I would have said no way.
Yep.
But here they are. They're at 10-0, and having a good season. So those are my two surprises this year. One non-surprise I'm going to say is Southern Columbia's back.
Yep. No surprise there.
Now,
Big
what do you
time.
think, Matt?
I'd like
For
to
me,
see what. Yeah, go ahead, Willie.
For me, I would think the biggest surprise, like Billy said, is the great job that Royale Ellis has done at Alderman Charter to take a first year program and have them be playing for a district championship this week is a great story. And then a story that we won't really touch on in this show because they're not they're not eligible for the playoffs. But Thomas Edison down here in Philadelphia out of the Public League, a program that's historically been bad, is having their best season in recent memory, and they're just doing outstanding. They just stay outstanding. And then, of course, we got the battle that we're going to be breaking down, I'm sure, later on the show. It's this year that somebody other than St. Joe's Prep represents the East in the 6A.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Matt, what surprised you this year?
Go ahead, Ed.
Oh man, in my neck of the woods here up in District 4, I'm going to go with Line Mountain. They've always been, district title contenders, but what Coach Brandon Carson has done here these last few years, 2021, just looking at their record, 2-8. They've steadily improved. They're 4-7 in 2022, 9-3 in 23, and now they're 10-0 in 2025. Top seed in District 4 single A. The last few years it's been Muncie, Canton showdowns for district finals with South Williamsport, in there as well. And Line Mountain's always kind of been on the outside looking in. And this year, what Coach Carson has done to, have an undefeated regular season. He's had, close wins over Middletown, some other tests along the way. But what him and his staff have done there with the Eagles this year has been my surprise.
Yeah, I think my surprise up here is got to be 8-2 Pittston area. With new head coach this year, and just so good early. We had them at our show at Nono's, and I talked to Coach Paul Russick afterwards when Pittston was leaving, and he said, "Boy, we got good a lot sooner than I thought we would." And so that is a surprise. I think it's a surprise to a lot of people. I mean, 8-2, but they're really good.
You're last, Matt.
I thought I told you with the Whitfield. I gave you
That's
my
it.
Whitfield pick.
That's right. All right. So that's it. All right. Let's go. Let's get ready to the 1A bracket. Okay, guys. Let's get into the 1A bracket. Let's start over in round one. Let's go to District 6. Guilfoyle. We've got Homer Center, Mo Valley. We've got Juniata Valley, Claysburg, Myersdale, and Conemaugh Township. Then waiting in the wings 2 games later is Westinghouse. I think we're going to see Bishop Guilfoyle playing Westinghouse eventually. That's my opinion on that one. They've got the horses. I know they're missing a running back from early in the season, but I don't see anybody else on that side of the bracket that's going to challenge Guilfoyle.
Agreed.
Yeah, and they've been the big bully on the block for a while now in 1A. So, I think it goes through Guilfoyle on that side. Westinghouse, surprisingly, has lost a couple games this year, but I did see them play early in the season, their first game, and they're super athletic. So I could see them advancing a couple weeks to get to that far in the state playoffs. They're a tough team.
Yeah,
and obviously well coached too.
Yeah, and they got a Myersdale team that's coming up. They're undefeated. Myersdale, of course, lost a game or won a game last week to Mount Union that they didn't play due to a forfeit. But I just don't know that Myersdale has the prime time horses to compete with a Westinghouse.
Right.
So I'm going to go with – I agree with that. Down the bottom half of the bracket, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a Willie bracket. You got York Catholic and DeLone Catholic waiting in the wings. You've got Morrisville and Jenkintown playing this week. That's the de facto game. Belmont Charter waiting for them. Line Mountain is waiting for the winner of Montgomery and Muncie, and Lackawanna Trail plays Nativity. Marion Catholic plays Tri-Valley. Guys, let's start up with the York Catholic, DeLone, Morrisville, Belmont Charter area, Willie.
I think, but at the risk of sounding like a homer, I think the District 12 champion Belmont Charter got to be the favorite to come out of that because one that they'll rested. They haven't played. They didn't play a game last week. They have off this week, and then they will get the winner of Morrisville Jenkintown, which I believe is more than likely going to be Morrisville in their first game in a while. And I I I gotta go with Belmont Charter because they play some tough competition in the public league, and actually could have elected to play in the public league playoffs, but elected not to because if they made it to the public league championship, it would interfere with their game next week. So they've been sitting at home a couple of weeks, and I work with one of their assistant coaches, and from everything he told me, they've been chomping at the bit, ready for action. So they're going to be coming out ready to rock and roll.
Waiting in the wings, Line Mountain, Marion Catholic, Lackawanna Trail. Are we going to see a Lackawanna Trail Line Mountain matchup, Ed?
I have a feeling so. I mean, I wouldn't count out, Montgomery, Muncie. I think Montgomery, takes care of business. They already beat Muncie once this year to win the NTL small school title outright. What Joe Knoble has done for the Red Raiders this year in his first year has been, pretty darn spectacular. I think Line Mountain just has too much firepower. Montgomery running, the single wing with Knoble being a Jim Roth acolyte there from Southern Columbia's junior high program. I just think, Line Mountain has too many weapons, and I would love to see them go up against, a good Lackawanna Trail team because Trail plays, almost similar style to a Montgomery, Southern Columbia with, double tight end sets, a lot of single wing, old school football formations.
Yeah, Caden Moore, a good football player for Line Mountain. I've been
My
watching
goodness,
him for 3
yeah.
years now. He's a beast, and he's a guy that if you don't get out of his way, he'll move you out of his way. Just a really
Absolutely.
good football player. I like,
And
Brandon Carson too. He's a great coach.
yeah.
Nativity BVM, Marion Catholic Tri-Valley. Do they have a chance up there, Jared, against Lackawanna Trail?
No, I'll just say this. Coach Steve Jervis was warming up his team on Friday night, and he goes, "It's a great day in America, boys. Block, run, hit, tackle. Great day to be in America." And it just rolled. That defense dominated, and I've never seen a Trail defense so good. So I don't think I've seen Nativity BVM this year too. I don't think they will stand much of a chance. I think Marion will give them a bit of a fight. I think that will be a decent game, but I'm looking forward to that Line Mountain Lackawanna Trail matchup. That is going to be a killer matchup. It's going to be awesome.
I don't think Marion has a chance. I
Nope.
just don't. Their resume doesn't show it. Tri-Valley's a nice team. I mean, they've had some good battles with Minersville in the past. I remember going down to watch them play Minersville in the mud for a district championship. It was nice, but and they've got a good team, but I just don't think they have what it takes to keep up. I think Line Mountain is going to definitely play Lackawanna Trail, and then we're going to see Lackawanna Trail and Belmont Charter, which is going to be interesting. Lackawanna Trail hasn't made the trip to Philadelphia before, so but this time Philadelphia would have to come to Trail.
And the thing about Trail is that wing T offense. It honestly, I'm trying to film it.
They run it perfectly.
I've seen it. Oh my gosh, they execute it so well. You can't tell what's coming. So that's where I think they get teams by surprise.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think you're exactly 100% on.
Killer.
Yeah. Other side of the bracket, we've got Wilmington. They're waiting for Cambridge Springs or Concorton. We've got Greenville and Reynolds. They're going to play next week. Fort Allegheny is waiting for the winner of Kane and Keystone, Red Bank Valley Ridgeway, AC Valley, and Cameron County. Coming out of that side, Wilmington's got to be the favorite. Port Allegheny, I think, is going to play Wilmington for the chance to play in the semifinal there.
Yep.
Ed, you're in the Port Allegheny groove.
Yeah, I mean, they have, one of the hardest nosed, running backs in the state with Aiden Bliss, almost carried, the Gators last year to a state title over Guilfoyle. They gave them one heck of a fight down there. They got past, a battle of two undefeated teams a couple weeks ago against Union and AC Valley. One thing that's going to kind of hurt them is they're a little banged up on their offensive line. They just had one of their starters come back from injury previous game only to get hurt again. So that might, be or play into a little bit of trouble for them. But overall, I mean, if Bliss can stay healthy, they keep doing what they're doing. I mean, I think they have a good shot of going up against making it out of the district. But they're going to have to get through Kane, Keystone winner, and former player, now turned Kane head coach Matt Bodemer. So that should be an interesting matchup to say the least.
Yeah, Matt Bodemer. If you don't know that name, look it up in the record books because Matt Bodemer used to be the yardage and touchdown leader in Pennsylvania. Broke all kind of records. Wilmington has a nice 1-2 attack coming at you. Chase Mistletree is a very nice running back, and they played a good football game last week, won dominantly. I think this is going to be a great matchup. Wilmington, Port Allegheny, Union AC Valley is a nice story. I just don't think they're ready for prime time yet. The top side of the bracket: Fort Cherry, Leechburg, Laurel, Southside, Clairton, Bentworth, Canavan, California. Go, Matt.
I think everybody wants to see that Clairton Fort Cherry rematch from last year's 21-20 Whippeal final. Fort Cherry looking for the three-peat in the Whippeal, which is not all that common. And then a lot of people forget Fort Cherry got out of there last year, and then Port Allegheny whacked him in the next week. So for my money, that Fort Cherry and Clairton matchup is where it's at. I'd like to think the winner of that game goes to the state final, but Port Allegheny and might have something else to say about that.
I agree 100%. Laurel is a nice looking team. They play good hard-nosed football. They've done the job this year to get where they're at. We talked about it earlier. This is a year where like the old guard is there and the rest of the old guard is kind of sliding in. Jefferson, Morgan, Laurel, they've been around for a long time. Clairton, of course, is old school and they're used to winning. And Monessen seems to lose a lot of guys to Thomas Jefferson. And I don't know what you can do about that. But every year they have some players. Bentworth doing good. Jeanette is an old school team, but Canavan is a team that could make a mess out of that whole bracket.
Yeah, Canavan struggled a little bit earlier in the year, but they came on pretty strong. They built, into the playoffs, which is what you want to do. So we'll see if they can make some noise in that District 7 playoffs. I think if it's not Fort Cherry and Clairton, there's a major upset.
I don't disagree. Does anybody disagree?
Not at all.
All right, good. Let's take a pick. Okay, I'm going to go first. I'm going to say it's going to be Fort Cherry, and they're going to play. And well, I'll tell you what, I think they're going to end up playing Line Mountain. That's what I'm going with.
Ooh.
Ed,
I'd love to see that. I'd absolutely love to see that. One of the top quarterbacks in the state against an up and coming team like we talked about with Line Mountain. Yeah, I think that would be a great matchup in the state final.
Ed, what's your pick?
Ooh. I'll take Fort Cherry over Line Mountain. I think that's it has all the makings to be a good game. I just think Fort Cherry has a little bit too much firepower.
Jared, Do you think Lion Mountain gets there?
I think they got a really good shot at getting there. They're tough. So I like
But
Line Mountain and I like Clareton, and I think Clareton wins the whole thing. I just think they have too much firepower, man. I think they're too good. They're excellent.
Willie,
I'm going with Clarendon versus Bishop Guilfoyle.
old school. Part 3, right?
I'd love to see that again, and I think head coach Wayne Wade would like to see that again too.
Part 3. Yeah. Part 3 would be interesting. So that's the 1A bracket breakdown, guys. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear from some of our sponsors. Some of our sponsors who include NFHS Network, Coach Calm, Safer Sports, and Circle W Sports, who powers our brackets. The rest of the guys pay for our brackets. So check those sponsors out. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with the 2A breakdown.
At PAFootballNews.com, we've got you covered. If you're looking for the best coverage of high school football in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, check out PAFootballNews.com. From schedules to rankings, game coverage to Friday night scoreboard, live streams, and more, PA Football News is the one-stop shop for everything high school football in Pennsylvania. Follow us on Twitter at PAFootballNews and visit us at PAFootballNews.com. We got you covered.
Juggled and caught. PAFootballNews.com and CWTAP. Tap into the state. PAFootballNews.com and CWTAP presents their weekly highlight show, bringing you, the viewers and fans, the best of the weekend's high school and college football action and interviews from all over the state of Pennsylvania. And introducing The View from the Sidelines, where you, the fans, can send in clips of your favorite team or athletes. Simply email your links or clips to Billy at PAFootballNews.com with the subject line, The View, by Sunday morning, and we'll try and present them on the program. PAFootballNews.com and CWTAP Tap into the State. Our weekly highlight show every Tuesday at 9 on CWTAP and the next morning streaming on PFN. We got you covered.
And welcome back to the State of PA Football. I'm Billy Swain, the owner of PA Football News. This is my staff. We're breaking down the brackets. We just did bracket number 1, the 1A bracket. We're on to number 2, the 2A bracket. The 2A bracket is kind of a bizarre bracket. Let's get started. Let me look over to my right. I'm going to read the bracket off. I'm going to pull it over to my right in front of me. Let's start with the eastern side. Steel High, Halifax, Tussey Mountain, Berlin, Southern Columbia, Bloomsburg, Warrior Run, and Troy. Whew. I mean, that's a bracket.
That's rough.
Yeah.
It only gets tougher. I mean, Steel High is a team that I got to see twice this year, and they're up and down and very undisciplined. They do not look like the Irby team of years ago. However, they do have some outstanding athletes on the field. One of them, a freshman, he's a freshman receiver, plays very good. They've got a couple of D1 recruits. Halifax is a team that I'm going to guess most of you people watching have no idea how Halifax exists, but they did play for a state title years ago. Tussey Mountain, nice little team, nothing to brag about, right home about. I think the dark horse here is Everett. They've got some horses on their team, but again, they just can't seem to win the big game. I think coming out of that side, it's going to be actually, I would say the winner is, of the Halifax Steel High game is going to represent in that corner of the bracket into the quarterfinals. Southern Columbia, Bloomsburg, all those guys. I'm going to let you guys talk about that for a little while.
Yeah, I'll start. Apologies to Kauniski Valley as D4 is a sacrificial lamb here. Whatever Southern earns the number one seed, you never want to be the 8th seed. I'll tell you that much. Honestly, I think, we're going to see a matchup of last year's district final in 2A with Troy Warrior Run in the semis. It was a good game last year. Troy obviously, went on to win state title. I think Troy has too much firepower on the ground between Mason Smith, Brendan Gilland, and Kale Millard. They're having another phenomenal year. A 1-point loss is their only blemish on the record to Waverly out of New York State. So look for a Southern Columbia Troy, part three. Last year they met in the semifinals. 2 years ago they played at Alperon Park in the mud. Southern won 14-0, but it was much closer than what that final score indicated. So should be another battle in District 4 area, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we talked about it before. Troy ends up being the 3 seed in this bracket, which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
Warrior runs the 2 seed, but Troy didn't get any points when they played Waverly. They lost that game. So they end up being the 3 seed, which means you got to go on the road twice. Probably you got to go to Warrior Run, and then you probably got to go to Southern. So couple road games. What I like about the matchup, if you do get a Troy Southern matchup, like not many teams believe against Southern Columbia, right? So because they just get whacked every single year in the playoffs, Troy believes, and why shouldn't they? They were state champs last year. So just waiting on that Southern Troy matchup and see what happens, like you said, in part 3, Ed.
Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting too, because with the game down in Catawissa. I covered Mount Carmel Southern a few years ago, right when I first joined the PFN staff. And driving through, once you got through Danville coming into Elysburg, it's pitch black except for the intersection by Turkey Hill, Sheets, and Burger King. And then off to the left as you're coming in is the only other lights on in the entire town, and that's at the school. And I mean, it took me over an hour just to get from the school back to the intersection, which is a mile away. So, it's kind of like Friday Night Lights down in Texas, where, football's religion and football is religion in Southern Columbia. So that it should be a pretty neat environment for the Trojans to take part in.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I don't know. Working on things. I mean, I think, Bloomsburg and Southern Columbia played last week, and Southern Columbia pretty much laid the calling card down and said, okay, we are completely the way back. That's a tough bracket right there. Southern Columbia, Troy, it looks like we're heading for that. Now, let's read the rest of the bracket. Schuylkill Haven, Northern Lehigh, Williams Valley, Minersville, Bristol, Audrey, Charter, Lakeland, and Riverside. I'm going to go down to Riverside and Lakeland. I'm going to go to District 2 first.
Yeah, so this is interesting because there's 3 teams there that should be in a dogfight. Now, Lakeland's gotten the better of both Riverside and Dunmore. And I'll steal Edo's phrase, the sacrificial lamb, because that's the Holy Redeemer. They're out. Lakeland is kind of back. They're on their little swing where every couple of years they come through and hammer teams, and this is one of those years. But Riverside and Dunmore are both really good. That's going to be a rematch game. First game of the year I covered was an overtime game, and Matt's going to see that one Friday. That ought to be a banger. Dunmore's playing really good defense, so it could switch the other way, and it doesn't matter because it's going to that District 2A championship game, Lakeland versus the Riverside Dunmore winner, is going to be a great game no matter what. So hard to tell what's going to happen there.
What's going on with Bristol and Auden Reed Charter down there, Willie? Bristol, they got a kid who had a brother who came through. He was a good running back. This kid's pretty good too.
And definitely, I think Bristol wins District 1, and then the Aldrin Charter Lansdale Catholic game is going to be, in my opinion, is going to be a great football game between one of the best stories in arguably the state this year. Audrey Charter being a first-year program, and here they are, one win away from being in the state playoffs. What? How many first-year programs have done that? Not many.
Executive
But
charter.
executive charter, but and then we have. But first they had to get through Lansdale Catholic, who, as I'm sure Matt, I'm surprised Matt hasn't pointed out this yet, has a state championship history, been winning the state championship in 2004 when they were a member of District 1, as I'm sure Matt.
And Matt, why is that important, Matt?
Well, let's let Willie tell everybody.
Why is that important, Willie?
Because that's the last year a District 1 team has won the district championship. Has won the state championship.
Listen,
Is that
District 1,
gonna
we are
change this year,
seriously,
Willie?
look, we're rooting for you guys. Win a state title, end the streak. All right? I mean, there's only one other district that has a longer streak, and that's District 5, right? District 5 is the only district that hasn't won a state title, right?
I believe so.
I like to give Willie a hard time. It's coming, Willie. It's coming.
That's
But
it.
yet
It's
you'll be
coming.
down here Thursday night.
Don't say that too loud.
It's just the year Schuylkill Haven goes back. I mean, their first undisputed season in 27 years, and they've been to the state title game. Mike Farr's been there. Can they get back?
Yeah, I mean, Nico Caristia's back in uniform. The kid broke his leg. It's unreal. Probably their best back. He broke his leg about 7 weeks ago, and he's back in uniform last week. Kid's an absolute monster. It actually gave them a chance to grow a little bit. So Colton Reber took over a lot of the carries.
The
kid's fantastic. Yeah, he's a big kid and he can move. And then Nico Castillo, very nice player as well. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. That is a state championship line. They are massive and they are very athletic for their size too. So Mike Farr knows he's got all the pieces. It's a matter of getting past Williams Valley first potentially in the district, which is they haven't been able to do that the last 2 years. Maybe Minersville has something to say about that too. But yeah, Haven, I'd love to see Haven against Southern or Troy. Bring it on all day, every day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Old school, just ground and pound football. We're going to run in between the tackles and, let the front seven do the battle and win the game.
Williams Valley Executive, it's an interesting story there. Executive is just so undisciplined. Watching their film, they just have no discipline, but they've got some athletes, the Brake brothers. If they could bring it all together, and their new head coach is doing a great job. If they can bring it all together, they can challenge Williams Valley. This could be a trap game for the Vikings. I think they're struggling. We have somebody that covers them. They said everything is great on the sidelines. The players are happy and everything like that. This could be a trap game for Williams Valley. Could be a trap game. So they have to watch out for this team. That being said, man, Schuylkill Haven, Williams Valley, Minersville, Audenry Charter, Lakeland, Southern Columbia, Troy, and Steel High.
Killer side of the bracket. Killer.
Yeah, good luck.
Man, oh
May
man.
the best team win.
Yep.
Orange City on the other side, Central Clarion Perry Traditional. Farrell's playing Eisenhower, who had to give up 2 games. They had to forfeit 2 games because they had an ineligible player on their team. Mercyhurst Prep in Seneca, the Bobcats. Bishop McCourt, Bald Eagle area, Cambria Heights, Marion Center, Richland United Valley, River Valley, and Bellwood Antis. I'm going to start. Bishop McCourt is just insane. I mean, they are built to win football games, and they built this team to win football games, and they've been coming for a couple of years. This is not a surprise, as Matt's going to tell you, but I mean, what a good team. Marion Center is a very good football team. I just do not think they have. I don't see it. I mean, I feel bad for Bald Eagle area. They got to play an extra game by default because Mount Union pulled out. But what's your reward, Bishop McCourt? And they're mowing people down. They just destroyed Guilford last week.
Yeah, McCourt's a little bit more known recently for their wrestling team, but the football team is catching up real quick. And the way this works is when you have some success, kids want to go play at your program. And they know they're going to get some exposure and they're going to be playing with other talented kids. So no surprise on McCourt. You know, I think they're maybe a year or two away from playing in a state title game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they played in the state title game this year.
No, I wouldn't either. River Valley's a good, solid football team. They've got Ed Dalton as a coach, and he's a really good football coach. They play some hard-nosed football there. That's a co-op team that is doing very well, actually. They had a little bit of a down year this year. They're back up this year. Richland is a team you can never count out. United Valley is having a nice year. We had their coach on our show early in the season, the coaches cookout. And he drove all the way from Evansburg to be on our show. And he's got his team playing nicely, but you got to watch out for Richland. I mean, they're a team that Coach Bailey knows how to win games. And of course, Brandon's dad, Don, won a lot of football games at Forest Hills. McGurwa's picking up some D1 offers. And I know last night he picked up another one. So I don't know. McCourt, I think if I remember correctly, McCourt has already beaten Richland, and
that's Richland's only loss. That's
right
Richland's
there.
only loss this year. Yep.
Then you got to go up to District 10, and you look at Farrell, and you're like, Farrell has played a monstrous schedule, and their quarterback is getting better as the year went on. He's a little weak at the beginning of the year, but he's starting to play football. But they're getting healthy, and they've got some running backs at Farrell that can run the ball. And there's a reason we have them ranked as high as we do. And they're going to have something to say about this with McCourt. What a game that may end up being, McCourt versus Farrell. That, I mean, doesn't that, like, when you sit and talk about like future matchups, like semifinal, when we're talking about quarterfinal matchups, that's why I do this. Because it's like, I can't wait to see that game. Rest of the bracket, Seton LaSalle. They're waiting for the winner of Mohawk and Olsh. South Allegheny, Waynesburg, Washington, Beaver Falls. Western Beaver waiting for Apollo Ridge, Riverside, and Steel Valley, the most questionable, crazy team out there, waiting on Elwood City, Keystone Oaks. Matt, go first.
Yeah, I saw Steel Valley, their first game of the season, and Barksdale's the majority of their offense. Super talent. It's interesting in District 7, you know, it's been a long time since District 7's had a dynamic 2A team. Maybe if you go all the way back to the Steel Valley team that beat Southern Columbia in the state finals about 10 years ago. Paris Ford. Yeah. I think the team to watch is Seton LaSalle. So we had Seton LaSalle ranked in our top 3 before the season started. Khalil Taylor transferred to Pine Richland. And we just thought that was it, right? Seton LaSalle's, they're toast. And obviously they've got some kids that can play some football there. I think Seton LaSalle could upset the whole side of that bracket, potentially.
I don't disagree. The athleticism. Western Beaver lost their quarterback. He transferred out and went to Kiski. We were like, okay, well, Western Beaver's done, and they did the same thing. So, you know, those two are going to, Western Beaver and Steel Valley, or Seton LaSalle, they're in the same destiny. Everybody wrote off Western Beaver, and here they are. They're just knocking people off left and right and plowing right through. So I think, I agree. Seton LaSalle, probably maybe Western Beaver come through that side. This is a tough one. Like, we already discussed this once in private. I'm going to go first. I'm going to say it's going to be McCourt, and I'm going to go with Schuylkill Haven. And what a slobber knocker of a football game that could be. I'm not picking a winner.
Yeah, I'm saying exactly the same. I say Bishop McCourt and Schuylkill Haven, and buckle up.
I'm gonna agree with you two guys on that. Schuylkill Haven just seems like a team that's destined and motivated to get there this year.
I agree with you guys on the western side. Eastern side, I got to go with my family in this one. The Troy Trojans, the Smith brothers are cousins on my mom's side of the family. Yeah, I'm taking Troy to repeat, man.
And what's rule number one at PA Football News? Never bet against who?
Oh, well, I have three sayings, death, taxes, and Jim Roth, and I'm breaking that tonight.
Fair enough. Give me Farrell against Southern Columbia.
Oof. Oof.
Damn.
Buckle up for that one too.
We're unanimous on the west side of the bracket anyway.
Wow.
So hey, that's the west side of your that's the district, or I'm sorry, the Class 2A bracket breakdown. This is the State of PA football. Our brackets are brought to you by NFHS. If you cannot make it to the game, watch it on NFHS. Coach Com, the leader in on-field communications, Safer Sports, making our players safer, and Circle W Sports, who powers the whole thing. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
You want to be able to play as hard as you can, as safe as you can.
Whenever I have the safe cap on, it absorbs most of the blow.
You can tell it's a little bit softer. When you get hit, it's just like kind of bounces off instead of reverberates through your helmet.
So when we look at those tests, when we had a safer cover on a football helmet, on average, it reduced accelerations by 11%.
My name is Carlos Bradley. I'm a former NFL player and currently chairman of Safer Sports. What is Safer Sports? We are a soft shell technology company. Our product, the Safer Helmet Cover, has been tested at Virginia Tech Helmet Lab and is proven to reduce the risk of concussion by as much as 77%. So if you have a youth league, a high school or a college, and you want to be safer, get in touch with safersports.com.
The Cobalt Plus headset system delivers proven performance along with more users, more flexibility. That's why coaches across Pennsylvania trust Cobalt Plus. CoachCom makes tough headset systems for tough teams. We build headsets to help teams win. Call or click to learn more about Cobalt Plus from the proven leader in football communications.
For over a decade, Circle W Sports has delivered top-tier athletic websites and helped numerous student athletes get noticed. Now, we're taking things to the next level with Showcase. We've reimagined everything, combining the power of our proven platform into one sleek, all-in-one profile that's customizable, dynamic, and built just for you. No more juggling multiple profiles. No more messy links. Every Showcase tier includes a personalized QR code and short link, making it easier than ever to share your story, anytime, anywhere. Think of it as your own digital scrapbook. Post highlights, add workout clips, upload photos, share your stats, achievements, and more, all in one place. Whether you're chasing scholarships, creating your personal brand with our name, image, and likeness offerings, or you just want to show off your grind, Showcase puts your journey front and center with packages starting at $9.99 per month. It's your game, your story, your future. Get noticed, get recruited, and most importantly, get ahead with Showcase.
Thank Thank you for calling Promises Internet Service. Please remain on the line. Due to high call volume around the world, it's likely you'll be on hold for well over an hour.
Get faster speeds for less money than the national companies at CenterWisp in Central Pennsylvania. CenterWisp is your fast local internet provider. For more information, go to centerwisp.com. That's CenterWisp.com. Now with faster speeds.
And welcome back to the State of PA Football, the Bracket Breakdown Show. Who will win and earn a trip to the chat for the state championship? We're about to find out who these guys think is going to do that in 3A. Let's start with the 3A bracket. We're going to go to the easy side because it's a bizarre side. Conwell, Egan, and Newman Goretti play, and then they have 2 weeks off. That's the bracket. Willie, who wins that game?
I'm gonna go with Newman Goretti again. Last time they played was a 4-point game with Newman Goretti edging Conwell Egan 8-12. And I think Albert Crosby gets the win again.
All right.
In another
Berks
profile.
Catholic. They're sitting there waiting for the winner of Bermudian Springs and Big Spring. Anvil Cleana is waiting for the winner of Trinity and Schuylkill Valley. I like Berks Catholic on this bracket, but I am not going to count out Trinity. That is a really talented football team. They had a tough schedule, and they had a couple of slip-ups this year. But I think this is a Trinity team that can come all the way through this bracket to play Newman Goretti and a chance to be in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I saw Trinity 2 weeks ago against Susquehanna Township, and they played them tough, 24-14. It was 18-14, start of the fourth quarter. So Trinity can do some things, especially against a talented Susquehanna Township team. I was impressed. You know, they were 9-3 last year and right back at it and red hot. You know, they're peaking at the right time. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Shamrocks make their way through that bracket in District 3.
Yeah, this is a game I went to see last year with Schuylkill Valley and Trinity. And Schuylkill Valley has a nice team, but it's not what they had last year when they had a quarterback in Norecki. He was a really good quarterback, and they had the tight end. And I just don't think they have those pieces this year to compete with Trinity. Down on the other side of that bracket, Mifflinburg. It's another brutal bracket. Mifflinburg, Montoursville, Mount Carmel, Berwick, Hanover area, Wyoming area, Scranton Prep, Green Pond, Northwestern Lehigh, and North Schuylkill. It's just brutal, guys. This is the second time I've had this conversation about this bracket.
You know.
and it doesn't get any easier to pick through this bracket. It really doesn't. I mean,
No.
Mifflinburg, the quarterback's doing a nice job there. He's breaking records, and they're beating people. I know they went to play Montoursville, and they just actually slaughtered them. And, I don't know. It's crazy. But, you got Berwick probably going to meet Wyoming area, but they got to beat. Now, they handled the Hanover area very easily last time they played.
Yeah,
They blew
without
them out of
question.
water.
Yeah, the problem on the other side of that is you don't know what you're playing in Scranton Prep. They're very deceptive at 5-5, and that game is really, really good. I'll be there Friday night, Scranton Prep at Wyoming area. That's for me. I mean, you look at the records and go, "Oh, Wyoming area is going to win." And yeah, it's too close to call, guys. You got to watch and know what you're dealing. It's why we do these shows. That game's crazy good, and whoever wins that one's going to get Berwick, and Berwick probably wins, but Berwick will have their hands full, especially if they get Scranton Prep. It's just a style of team that they've not seen probably this year yet. So it's going to be could be very interesting. Like you never know.
Yeah, last time Berwick was 10-0, CJ Curry was the quarterback, and his grandfather was the head coach.
How crazy.
Both
Awesome
times.
stuff. Good stuff
Full
out of
circle
Berwick.
moment, right?
Right.
Yeah, I remember being at the helping with the East-West game out at, I think it was Franklin Regional, and CJ was the quarterback for the East team, and his dad was not chosen as a coach, but he was on the sidelines, and he and I stood on the sidelines the whole time. just watching that. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Football is back in the football mecca. That's all I could say
It's
about.
good to see Berwick winning. It is. It's good to have Berwick winning.
They're
It's
back.
always good when teams like Berwick win. Notre Dame Green Pond is not tearing up the field like they did last year. They're not ripping the points off the scoreboard.
Yeah, they have the potential to do it, though. Matt Bodner at quarterback, he can pop off at any time.
He's a new commit. He just committed to JMU.
Yeah. And I mean, they beat North Schuylkill by a point, which was a little surprising. I think they thought they were going to handle North Schuylkill on that night. So, I mean, it all boils down to in District 11, who's going to play Northwestern Lehigh, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm going down to see North Schuylkill play. Get to see Wally Hall. He's one of my favorite coaches. They're playing Panther Valley. At 4-6, actually, this is a good year for Panther Valley. They've not had very good luck lately. So, I'll give their props. That is a brutal corner of a bracket.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
I'll just mention, too, North Schuylkill's had a really good season. Their only losses are to Southern Lehigh, Notre Dame Green Pond, and Northwestern Lehigh.
Right.
Yeah.
No slouches there.
A 1, 2, and a 1.
Yeah, Wally Hall's done a nice job there. And Luke Miller's awesome.
He's a great guy. Love hanging out with Wally. Other side of the bracket, Brockway and St. Mary's, Penn Cambria, Forest Hills, Huntington, Tyrone, Hickory, Girard, Fort LaBeouf, Corey, Sharon, Conneaut, Grove City, Northeast. Gotta think coming out of this whole corner of the bracket, it looks like Hickory.
Yeah, because they're getting healthy, right? That's really the story there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morrison's back, and Hickory it's a different team, obviously, with him on the field. So.
Yeah, and they've had one of those schedules where it's a brutal schedule. Don't look at what they might have lost. Look at who they played. They've played some top teams from Ohio, very good teams. I think you're gonna see a Penn Cambria Huntington championship in District 6. The winner of that game is gonna play Brockway or St. Mary's, who actually has a week off. Just insane. That that's where I go crazy. 8-2 Penn Cambria, 6-4 Forest Hills. They get to play and then they got to play against Huntington or Tyrone winner, and you've got a 6-4 and a 4-6 team sitting home after playing, and they get a bye. It's crazy. But I don't think it matters. I think it's going to be Hickory and Sharon are going to play for the chance to get into quarterfinals. And then we have this one. Central Valley, Imani Christian, Elizabeth Ford, and Avonworth are all sitting to wait to battle each other out. Avonworth, Luke Neal.
Killer. So good. Ridiculously good.
Yeah, I think Avonworth is looking to redeem themselves from that epic battle against Northwestern Lehigh last year. I can't imagine there's been a second of their day that's gone by since that loss that they haven't thought about getting back to a state final.
No doubt about it.
No, and then you've got Imani Christian sitting there with all those D1 recruits. The problem with Imani is they're so thin. If you can expose something, they don't have anybody else to put in there. They're a very small roster. Central Valley, Mark Lyons always doing the thing with his team. I mentioned a while ago. He put out a picture this weekend of all the guys that he has sent to Pitt, and there was like 8 guys in this picture. And that's just amazing. That's an amazing fact in and of itself that one coach sent that many kids to one FBS football school in Pitt. That's crazy. So
that's nuts.
You can't discount Central Valley. I think a dark horse in this one would be Southmoreland. Playing good football. I know they lost last week, but playing good football all year long. Southmoreland has a great football coach. He was a great player when he was a coach or a player. So that's my dark horse for this classification is Southmoreland. That they could be this year's South Park. I'm going to get it started off, and I'm going right for it. And I think I'm going to speak for everybody. Avonworth, Northwestern Lehigh, Part 2.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Get the
Bring it
popcorn
on.
ready.
Does anybody disagree?
Not at all.
Nope.
Best game we saw last year at the Chap.
Listen,
Bring
if
it
it ends
on.
up like if it
My
ends up
second favorite,
Southmoreland
but man,
and
what a
Berks
game.
Catholic, we're not. If it ends up Southmoreland Berks Catholic, we'll still go cover the game.
Of course,
we just won't
will.
have these big smiles on our face.
We're just gonna shake our heads the whole time.
We'll just,
Where did we go wrong? What zone are we in? And where is Rod Sterling? Where is he standing? Because that's
hopefully we're not stressing out fans in front of us in the stands this year.
yeah. And I apologize to North Schuylkill, Wyoming area, Berwick, and Miffelberg, but it is what it is. That's 3A breakdown.
What is it they said? The irresistible force versus the immovable object. That might be what 3A is. We'll see.
But somewhere in there might be one of them teams might be a lever.
Never know. Never know.
That's why they play the games.
Right on, Will.
We're getting way too complicated here. We're going over our own heads here. Let's take a break. This is a bracket breakdown show on PA Football News, State of PA Football. That was a 3A bracket. We're going to come back and we're going to break down what is probably the most unpredictable classification in the state, 4A. We'll be right back after these messages from
CoachComm is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose CoachComm because CoachComm has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.
The very fact that you're still breathing right now is evidence that God has not given up on you and your story isn't over.
If you're hurting, if you need hope, if you want to ignite the fire of Jesus in your life, the Story Tour is for you.
You're in this place tonight because God's not done.
God is bigger than whatever you're facing, and if he was willing to move in the life of this ex-drug addict, there's no mountain he won't move.
Found and Favored Ministries presents The Story Tour, a one-night event for the hurting and struggling, featuring the music of Alan Scott Band. God stories from across the country.
My name is Lisa, and for 40 years, I've struggled with shame because I had an abortion.
My name's Ken. I stepped away from a 17-year marriage. I stepped away from a 7-year-old daughter.
My story wasn't over.
My story wasn't over.
God is so much bigger than whatever you're facing.
Your story isn't over.
Your story isn't over.
Pastor and suicide survivor Travis Habersham.
God loves to take the menaces of society and turn them into walking miracles of his glory.
The testimony of ex-drug addict Alan Scott.
I was a drug addict and a thief, but 18 years ago, God set me free and gave me a hope and a future.
Join us for an incredible night that will encourage you to believe that God can heal any hurt, move any mountain, and restore any situation. The Story Tour. For more info, visit thestorytour.org.
C3 Sports and Events Center is located in the heart of Happy Valley. C3 Sports has the space you need for your next sporting, community, or professional event. We recognize that our community would benefit from a large, adaptable event venue that could host just about anything. So, if you have an event, we have the space for you. We are C3 Sports and Events Center in State College, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the State of PA Football, the Bracket Breakdown Show on PA Football News and CWTAP. I'm sorry, Willie had us all laughing at the break. But hey, 3A is done. We're on to 4A. We're going to move through this. We're going to get this show done. We're going to break it down. Let's go to the most unpredictable, weird, crazy classification we have this year. Let's start with Southern Lehigh is playing 0-10 Bangor. We don't even have to predict that game. Blue
Banger
Mountain and Lee
upset.
Heighton.
Just kidding.
Let's do an in-depth breakdown of that one.
Yeah. Jared, you're going to Blue Mountain and Lee Heighton. Should be a decent game. Bethlehem Catholic, Pottsville, Allentown Central Catholic, and Jim Thorpe are going to play. And they're going to meet up with the winner of Juniata, who is also Juniata in the next round. They're waiting for Bellefonte and Johnstown. Shamokin and Shikellamy, this is the best part. Shamokin and Shikellamy play, Jersey Shore and Athens play. And the winner of that goes to Juniata again. Shamokin, man, I'm telling you, Logan Steele. Matt has been on the Logan Steele train all year long, and
Yes, he had.
I'm on it. Logan Steele won that football game against Mount Carmel on Friday night, almost single-handedly. Clinton had a little bit to do with it, the running back, but I mean, Steele scored the first touchdown. He scored the last regulation touchdown. He recovered the onside kick. He threw the pass that put him on the 10-yard line, and he drew the penalty that put him on the 2-yard line, where Zakeem Clinton was able to get in. Mount Carmel gets the cold buck.
Yeah.
Who's coming out of that area there, Matt?
Well, I think Shamokin gets past Jersey Shore again if they end up seeing each other in the district final. That's still a great matchup. Those two teams have battled for the past few years, and some really tight games too, including a 42-41 overtime game this year at Shamokin. So, I mean, I would hate to see a Shamokin team that can win a state title get upended in a district final, but if it happens, I don't think anybody's going to be like, where did Jersey Shore come from? Those two teams have been in some serious battles over the last couple of years. So I think Shamokin wins the district, and then then they got to get through probably Juniata, which caught them by surprise last year, and I don't think they'll go into that game lightly if it happens.
No, Athens, Jersey Shore isn't quite the marquee matchup it could have been, right, Ed?
Yeah, with Connor Davidson being suspended for this game too, as part of a 2-game suspension. Definitely would have been. I would still favor Jersey Shore ahead of Athens in that one, even with Davidson. But he would definitely make it, a lot more entertaining and a closer game. But yeah, I mean, I think Jersey Shore takes their first round game, and then they're going to have to do everything in their power to try and stop Steele and Shamokin. I mean, those two schools have had some great battles, like Matt was saying, the last couple of years here. But yeah, I mean, just unreal. If you get a chance to go to that one, go, because you're going to get your money's worth out of it.
I think it'll be a good game.
Absolutely. Yep.
I do. I think it'll be a really good game. Farther down that bracket, let's talk about Cardinal O'Hara, Bonner Prendy, Archbishop Wood and Ryan, Valley View and Dallas, North Pocono, Crestwood, Shanahan, Interboro, PJP, Springfield. I feel like we've talked about these teams before.
We've discussed almost all of them at great rank during our rankings meeting. And in District 1, I think we're on a collision course for a second matchup this year between Pope John Paul II and Bishop Shanahan. A matchup that Pope John Paul won earlier in the year, 28-21, in a game that Bishop Shanahan had a few problems with the turnover bug biting them that ultimately cost them the game. Then down on the lower part of the bracket, what a meat grinder the Category 4A bracket is. You talk about Ohio Archbishop Wood, Ohio Archbishop Ryan is a rematch of a game Ohio won, I believe, 10-7 or something close earlier in the year. And then you got Bonner Brennan, who's the defending state champs, taking on a very good Archbishop Wood team. And the survivors of the two will meet the following next week, which, if it's Ohio or Bonner, throw out the records. The old Delco Hollywood records won't matter much. And I can't.
Philadelphia, we seem to be like also seeing a return of the old guard. We do. We see the Cardinal O'Haras and Ryans and Next thing you know, in a year or two, maybe Ryan gets Father Judge rolling, and then we're like, wow, what happened?
Mhm.
We're 1979 again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Catholic. I've always said the Catholic League is playing some of the best football in the state, and they're they're proving it, especially in higher
Yeah.
classifications.
Yeah, but they've got a public league school that they're going to have to look out for the and I got a sore spot for this team because North Pocono beat my Berwick Bulldogs and Ron Paulus way back and knocked them out of the state playoffs. Of course, Ron Paulus went on to beat Berwick to a national championship. So, but North Pocono, good year.
Yeah, listen, they're real good. I don't think they're going to have much trouble getting out of District 2 because they've easily beaten all three of the teams that they would face here in the playoffs. I do think Dallas has a real good shot upset in Valley View, but I don't think it will matter too much. North Pocono is just playing very good in all phases, especially on defense. They've got Cole West, who is so good, lines up in the Wildcat, can throw the ball, great receiver, great kick returner, and he is a heck of a defensive back. And he's just, when he's on the field, they got a shot of taking down a lot of teams. He's really, really good. So I think they've
their
got
defense is nice.
Juggernaut looking towards that District 1 matchup. That's going to be a real.
It's going to be interesting. I don't think Shanahan's what they were last year. I don't think PJP is what they were last year. Monco started off strong this year, Willie, and they kind of faded a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
Interboro, you mentioned earlier today, Interboro has some interesting losses. Just because they have a bunch of losses doesn't really tell the tale of the tape, does it?
Exactly. You see on the screen, they're 3-7, but of their let me read off some of their losses: Strathaven, Westchester Ruston, Plymouth Whitemarsh, Wissahickon, and Chester. What's all five of those teams? What's all five of those teams have in common? The all District 1 qualifiers in either the 5A or 6A bracket.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. In my opinion, that's North Pocono's bracket to win. Let's head over to the other side of the bracket now. Let's take a look at this. General McLean out of District 10, Oil City. Both teams are 8-1. They've played each other. I think General McLean, if I'm not mistaken, got the win in that one. They play, then they have a week off, and then they meet Punxsutawney, or the winner of the Clearfield University Prep game. University Prep just won the City League Championship. So congratulations to them. Down in the District 7 bracket, this is the bracket that has us all scratching our heads. McKeesport, TJ, Mars, Trinity, Aliquippa, Newcastle, Montour. We jumped on McKeesport early this season, and we told everybody, don't fall asleep on McKeesport. They're going to lose some games. Then they're going to come back and they're going to win the Whitfield title. And that literally is what we told each other in our meetings. Every Sunday night we have a meeting and all of our staff meets up. But when you have the number one running back in the country can't spell, all you got to do is give him the ball, right, Matt?
Yeah, Spell's obviously the diamond on that team, but there's so many kids on that squad. Miller's doing a nice job at quarterback. Javion Robinson is a D1 kid. He's a super talent there, and he probably gets outshined by Spell just because of all the noise, being sent his way. But Robinson's a super nice wide receiver. And then one of the kids I really like is a kid named Matt Sibilia. He's like hacked into his uniform. Super, super tough kid on the offensive line, and he's just putting kids in the ground all game. He just looks like a McKeesport lineman. So they play Peters, TJ, St. Clair, Upper St. Clair. I think they're definitely one of the best teams in the Whippeal and maybe the best team in the state.
When you think about McKeesport, whenever I think about McKeesport, I see those great big giant pads with the neck collar, and like that's what I see when I think about the McKeesport Tigers. Like the giant, I mean, those pads and then neck collars made those players look way bigger than they really were back in the day. That's how I see them. I don't see anybody stopping McKeesport out of that side of the bracket. I really don't. And then up in the top side of the bracket, you've got a Susquehanna Township team who was 10-0 for the first time since the 60s. Kennerdale, Elko, they'll play the winner of them. You got Wyomissing playing Lampeter Strasburg next weekend. You got West York waiting for the winner of East York, Middletown, and then you got Twin Valley, West Parrott. I like Twin Valley in this whole bracket. Got to see them. They totally dismantled Wyomissing at one of the greatest Saturday afternoon stadiums to ever see a football game. I'm going to say it again. If you have a bucket list of high school football, one of the games has to be go to Wyomissing and watch a Saturday afternoon football game. Isn't that right, Matt?
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite places to go watch a Saturday football game. And if you live anywhere near District 3, this 4A District 3 bracket are the games to go watch. You know, you're going to end up with probably like, Susquehanna Township, Wyomissing, Twin Valley, and Lampeter. So there's 2 semifinals and a final that you can't find anywhere else in the state. It's an awesome bracket.
It is. It's a great bracket. Wyomissing, good. Justice Hardy, good running back, but I don't think they have the horses. Honestly, I think with Susquehanna Township, Torrin Evans, and the athletes that he has, I think they get through the winner of Kennerdale, Alco, and I do think they get past Wyomissing, but I think the buck stops there. I don't think they have enough to take on Twin Valley.
Yeah, and I mean, high praise for Coach Myers at Twin Valley. Yeah, I was big on them last year, and they ended up losing a bunch of kids after the season to graduation. And he's right back on that horse. I mean, he's taken teams. He took Middletown to the state finals a couple times, so he knows what's going on. And if Twin Valley ended up in a state final, just for that reason alone, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, neither would I. Neither would I. So I'm going to go with Twin Valley, or I'm sorry, McKeesport plays Twin Valley. McKeesport wins that game, and I think they end up playing Shamokin. I think it's McKeesport and Shamokin. That's my pick for the state championship game.
If Shamokin's in the state final, they will start walking to the chap the second they win that game.
Yep. Gonna load the stands.
Cumberland
They'll
Valley.
be busted.
If they make it, you will see Shamokin fans, you will see Mount Carmel fans, you will see Shigley and Selinsgrove fans, and you will see Southern Columbia fans at
It
that
will
game.
be amazing. It will be amazing.
I was going to say they'll start tailgating Wednesday night.
But
Wednesday
next
night.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
The Wednesday, the week and a half before.
What's the
Hey,
tailgating?
Shamokin starts tailgating. Shamokin started tailgating in late August, and they haven't stopped yet.
That's exactly
right. And if they do make it, hopefully they bring some of their pierogies up to the press box.
There you go.
That's it, man. That's it.
We
Better than
the
those
media
French
like
fries.
to eat too.
That's it. Better than the French fries. I'll put an order in. I'll tell them to bring us some down. We'll set up a tailgate. We'll tell them to bring us some Polish food from Shamokin.
Nice.
That's what we should
Rock
be doing.
on.
We need to think about that. Hey, that's the 4A breakdown. I think we're all on the same page on that one, right? Or is there somebody else out of 4A that's going to meet McKeesport?
No.
No.
Southern Lehigh is tough. I'd love
make
to see
it
them
Southern
play
Lehigh out
Shamokin.
of the east side, and that's what I was thinking. You might get
I
that.
think Logan Steele is the X factor for Shamokin.
Yep.
I think Logan
Maybe
Steele
you're
is
right.
going to be the Sean Humes from, that's going to be their poison for Southern Lehigh. They're not going to have an answer for Logan Steele.
He'd be the best player on the field, and he usually is.
Yep. All right, that's the 4A breakdown. We're going to come back and we're going to break down 5A, which is a difficult bracket to break down. So we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
And he's in the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown.
Juggled and caught.
PAFootballnews.com and CWTAP. Tap into the state. PAFootballnews.com and CWTAP presents their weekly highlight show, bringing you, the viewers and fans, the best of the weekend's high school and college football action and interviews from all over the state of Pennsylvania. And introducing The View from the Sidelines, where you, the fans, can send in clips of your favorite team or athletes. Simply email your links or clips to Billy@PAFootballnews.com with the subject line, The View, by Sunday morning, and we'll try and present them on the program. PAFootballnews.com and CWTAP Tap into the State. Our weekly highlight show every Tuesday at 9 on CWTAP and the next morning streaming on PFN. We got you covered.
And welcome back to the State of PA Football, our bracket breakdown show right here on CWTAP and PAFootballnews.com. We got you covered. Hey, our brackets are brought to you by NFHS. If you can't make it to the big game, stream it live on the network. CoachCom with Cobalt. Their systems are unparalleled on-field communication and Safer Sports, making our sport safer for kids. And of course, show them the way, show them the head, and Circle W Sports, who powers everything we do. So thanks for being here. Hey, let me read off the bracket real quick. This is the 5A bracket. It's a crazy bracket. You've got Abington Heights, Pittston area, Hollidaysburg, DuBois, Roman Catholic, Father Judge, Whitehall, East Stroudsburg South, Pocono Mountain East, and Pleasant Valley. Let's start off with Abington Heights. They're like back from the dead.
They are, and it's because they got their quarterback back, Nick Bradley. He is a huge boost to that team. He is a terrific passer. They've got things clicking. They finally have a running game, which they haven't had. Their defense is excellent. The only thing about it is this is their shot to do something, because they're going to graduate a lot of seniors this year. So they're going to have a hard time with the winner of the Pittston area Delaware Valley game. Delaware Valley has really, really come on strong. But we talked about Pittston already, and they're tough. They're tough. That might be the game of the week in District 2. EJ's covering that one. And then Abington Heights should roll Valley West easily, and we'll see what happens after that. That's going to be whoever comes out of that bottom one to play Abington, it's going to be a great game.
Hollidaysburg, Alderdice. Alderdice has a few athletes, but they don't have anything. They don't have anything to mash up with Josh Banks from Hollidaysburg. The kid's, he's a turnover machine. Hollidaysburg, Caden Delatry just does a pedestrian, nice job at quarterback. Doesn't make mistakes. He can get loose. He can run. He's fast. Homer Delatry is one of my favorite coaches in the entire state of Pennsylvania. His team, for the last couple of years, he's really been working his team, and they've got over a hump this year. They finally beat Fort. What's the name of the team? Come on, Fort Hill. And Fort Hill's been a perennial state champion down in Maryland forever, and they finally beat him this year. Hollidaysburg has a lot of confidence. This is a very underrated team. I don't think Hollidaysburg has any problem getting through the winner of DuBois or Mifflin County for a monstrous rematch with Abington Heights that went down to the wire last year. That was a great, great game. Down on the other side of the bracket, Pocono Mountain East, Pleasant Valley, Whitehall, East Stroudsburg South. Sorry, I love you guys, but like I am not excited about this section of the bracket. Not at all. Anybody else?
No. Roman should easily come out of that bracket, part of the bracket.
I think Roman Catholic plows right through that bracket to play the. It could be Hollidaysburg again or Abington Heights. Same as we saw last year. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to do that, but Roman is just that good. They may be one of the top 3 teams in the entire state of Pennsylvania.
You're not going to get an argument out of me. They're great.
All right, let's all sit back and let's all sit back and let Willie go.
Yes, chef.
Delco, Pencrest, East Haven, Hicken, Chester, Garnet Valley, Ruston, Kennett. We're wasting our time saying all those names, right? Because it's going to be Chester, right?
Not so fast. Looking at the bracket, on the top part of the bracket, I think the semifinal is going to be a Strathaven versus Springfield Delco rematch from last week, in which Springfield edged them 10-7. But then if you can bring down the bracket lower, Chester is not guaranteed. It has the tougher road for a number 2 seed. They have a Garnet Valley. They have a possible matchup with Garnet Valley next week, and then if they survive that, they would have their old nemesis, the defending champion, Westchester Ruston. That is definitely going to be, that part of the bracket is definitely going to be the more difficult one to get out of. But I do think we're going to see a Chester Springfield Delco District 1 championship.
Eventually we get Chester and Roman, right?
I don't know. This could be the year that Springfield Delco finally gets over it, but that's why they play the games there, Bill. And but I think the general consensus around here is it's going to be a Chester Roman matchup in the semifinals.
That's a game I might want to go watch.
Get me a ticket for that one.
Yeah.
Come on down. We'll have a party down in Philly.
Yeah, District 3, New Oxford waiting for the winner of Springfield and Muhlenberg. The Mules having a nice year. Solanco also, Mules playing well. Warwick and Shippensburg will play Solanco. Conestoga Valley undefeated. They'll play the winner of Exeter Township and Lower Dolphin, which that's actually should be a very good game. And then you have Mission McDevitt waiting in the wings. And who are they waiting for? Poor Mechanicsburg. That's their every year reward. They play Redland. Coming out of that bracket, I like a lot of the teams. They're nice looking. New Oxford senior heavy. This is their year. I just don't think any of them have anything for McDevitt.
Yeah, just kind of a wonky system, right? Where McDevitt is probably the favorite and ends up as the number 3 seed in that bracket. So
that's because,
I think
they had the early season stumble down in York to the Canada team, and then Harrisburg beat them. So if they get through those, they would have been all right.
Yeah, and I mean, this is New Oxford's best chance to do something in District 3, but McDevitt, the heavy favorite, I think.
Yeah, heavy favorite. And then up in the top bracket, this is Penn Trafford. By the way, I want to say Penn Trafford. I got to say good luck to our Mia Williams, who will not be covering football game on Friday night. Mia Williams will be playing for a state championship in tennis, and Annabelle Aquinaville. They are a team for us. Annabelle is going along to support her friend in her state championship run. She's a senior this year, so from all of us, bring home that medal, Mia. And
Go get it, Mia.
Go get it.
Don't fight hard to get it. All right? Go, Mia. Penn Trafford, Pine Richland, Peters Township, Woodland Hills. I mean,
yeah, wow.
Peters Township, the quarterback, Nolan DeLucia, he's ripping it up. He's getting the offers. He's playing really good football right now, the quarterback. But, man, you got Pine Richland up there. Penn Trafford, I mean, where'd they come from? They lost early in the season. We had them ranked. They've just been kind of laid back, and now here they are. And they're one of the top teams in the state. And this is, of course, a team who is not far removed from one of the bigger upsets in the state championship history.
Yeah, they definitely have the recipe. You know, they've been there before. That was a great state final that they won, by the way. And the school is super big on supporting their sports programs too. So, you know, once those teams start winning, you know, Penn Trafford can get on a roll. When it comes to the Whippeal, though, it's Pine Richland all day for me. I mean, you're talking about one of the most talented rosters in the state, bar none, whatever the class you want to talk. Obie Strader, Jay Timmons, Khalil Taylor, Curran going to Pitt, the Webb brothers, Mac Miller in the backfield, and one of the best coaches in the state too. So it's Pine Richland's to lose, and I don't think they will.
Khalil Taylor just caught. We put it on our show last night. He had a one-handed interception in the end zone, took off, ran into a pack of people on the sidelines, spun this way, spun that way, went through a crowd, broke a tackle, and went right to the end zone. And they weren't catching him. Like, he's fast. He's got the moves, and he's got the hands. Him alone on that team took them from here to here. And yeah, I agree. My pick for this state championship game is Pine Richland against Roman Catholic. I think Pine Richland squeezes by Bishop McDevitt, and I think they get to Roman Catholic. I think that's your matchup. Who's next?
Hard to argue that one.
Yeah. I agree with you, and I'm going to say this will be the year Roman brings it back to Philly, the state championship back to Philly. Reventing last year's heartbreak in the state final.
Yeah, wow. I still see that kick, Willie. I mean, wow.
I still another one of the great games we had last year.
Pine Richland all the way.
Yep, agreed.
Yep.
Yeah. What a bracket. What a team.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's the 5A bracket. We got one to go. One to go. This is the state of PA football. This is the bracket show. We're having a blast. I'm having fun. We're going to come back. We're going to break the 6A bracket down. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
You want to be able to play as hard as you can, as safe as you can.
Whenever I have the safe cap on, it absorbs most of the blow.
You can tell it's a little bit softer. When you get hit, it's just like kind of bounces off instead of reverberates through your helmet.
So when we look at those tests, when we had a safer cover on a football helmet, on average, it reduced accelerations by 11%.
My name is Carlos Bradley. I'm a former NFL player and currently chairman of Safer Sports. What is Safer Sports? We are a soft shell technology company. Our product, the Safer Helmet Cover, has been tested at Virginia Tech Helmet Lab and is proven to reduce the risk of concussion by as much as 77%. So if you have a youth league, a high school or college, and you want to be safer, get in touch at safersports.com.
Circle W Sports is the complete all-in-one platform for high school sports, designed by former athletes, coaches, and athletic directors. Circle W Sports gives school and team personnel an easier solution to run their entire athletic departments with the help of these features. League Manager makes creating master schedules a breeze. Configure your divisions, build schedules, track league all-stars, and much, much more. Referee Manager helps assign and track game officials in the same platform. And with RefPay, your officials can get paid with within hours instead of days or weeks. Enjoy live scoring and statistical services through our Performance Tracker and Stat Tracker apps. Learn how to track your workout or camp and combine statistics in real time. Then create any type of report after your results are tallied. The Stat Tracker app helps keep your fans involved, whether they are in the stands or at home, with live in-game stats. For more information, visit CircleWSports.com, the official online platforms of PA Football News and the PSFCA Big 33.
Thank you for calling Promises Internet Service. Please remain on the line. Due to high call volume around the world, it's likely you'll be on hold for well over an hour.
Get faster speeds for less money than the national companies at CenterWisp in Central Pennsylvania. CenterWisp is your fast local internet provider. For more information, go to centerwisp.com. That's CenterWisp.com. Now with faster speeds.
And he's in the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown!
Juggled and caught.
PAFootballnews.com and CWTAP. Tap into the state. PAFootballnews.com and CWTAP presents their weekly highlight show, bringing you, the viewers and fans, the best of the weekend's high school and college football action and interviews from all over the state of Pennsylvania. And introducing The View from the Sidelines, where you, the fans, can send in clips of your favorite team or athletes. Simply email your links or clips to Billy@PAFootballnews.com with the subject line, The View, by Sunday morning, and we'll try and present them on the program. PAFootballnews.com and CWTAP Tap into the State. Our weekly highlight show every Tuesday at 9 on CWTAP and the next morning streaming on PFN. We got you covered.
And welcome back to the State of PA Football, the Bracket Breakdown Show. I'm Billy Swain, the owner of PA Football News. We are breaking down the brackets like nobody's business because nobody knows the entire state like the staff of PA Football News. We've got over here, we got Jared. Over here, we got Ed from District 4. Jared's from District 2. Down here, we got Matt. He's a traveling Matt. He knows everybody, but he's a District 4 guy too. Over here, we got Willie. He's a District 1 and 12 guy. I travel state. We get our information from all of the people who travel the state for us. So we're not just alone. You hear us mentioning throughout the show that this person says this or that person says that. It's because we have the best staff and the best high school football coverage in the state of Pennsylvania. Last bracket, 6A. Guys, I'm going to read them off. This is an easy one because there ain't much going on. Like, do we have any 6A teams in Pennsylvania? Honestly, should we drop to five classes? That's my personal opinion. Easton, Emmaus, Bethlehem, Liberty, Freedom, who just played last week. Parkland, Stroudsburg, Nazareth, Northampton. The winner is going to get either LaSalle or St. Joe's Prep coming off a 2-week break.
Crazy.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck with that. Man.
We call those 2 weeks the college visits for those two schools.
That's right.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Prep and LaSalle, whoever survives that will have to play most likely Imhotep next week or some point for the District 12 championship. But it should be whoever wins this week's game.
Yeah, we are missing Imhotep on our bracket there. Well,
That's because they're still in the public league playoffs, so technically it's still being decided who could be the public league 6A champion.
They'll enter in on the 14th and 15th.
That's right.
There we go.
Okay, so they only get 1 week off, and then they get to play. But anyway, Parkland is, in my opinion, the favorite to come out of that group, but they've got to get past Easton. Matt.
You're on mute, Matt.
Yeah, talk to us, Matt.
It's been a long night for us.
Yeah, I've seen Parkland twice, and I've seen Easton once. Both super talented teams. TJ Lawrence for Parkland is ridiculous. Ordway from Easton is also, a tremendous athlete. Those D11 games are so much fun to cover. I go to a ton of them, especially on Thursdays. I got to believe Parkland is the favorite coming out of that bracket, but wouldn't be surprised if Easton ended up winning the game. But I think Parkland is probably the best team coming out of that league.
TJ Lawrence is a beast. He can do everything.
Yeah.
Let him get loose. So yeah, I mean, that's it. We're waiting on this side of the bracket over here, the public bracket, before we put anybody in here with LaSalle and St. Joe's Prep. Down on the bottom half of the bracket, Willie, you're all up, man. Penn Ridge, East, Coatesville, South, North Penn, Solderton, West. What a
Talking about another meat grinder of a bracket in District 1. These District 1 teams just love to beat up on each other. And this year's no different. I know me and Matt are going to be spending time together Thursday night seeing the Springford Downtown East game, which I'm looking forward to seeing how Springford is coming up, rolling in on with 6 consecutive wins. But in District 1, I think that the favorites is going to be coming out of the lower part of the bracket. No offense to Penrith, who had a great year, but I think it's either going to be North Penn or Downtown West coming out of District 1 again this year.
Downtown West always tough football over Whippets, man.
Tom Klein does a great job with that. Tom Klein, a guy that I actually coached with when he was at Springfield, and all he does is win games. Great head coach, and he's got a great defensive coordinator, Phil Plank. And so
you can't take away from anybody. I mean, like, you can't take away from Owen J. Roberts, who has had a great year this year.
Great year for them.
They've got some really good athletes at OJR. CB West, always tough. And, I want to give a special shout out to Coach Nick down in Neshaminy. What a great job he did. He came in Neshaminy from Penn Cambria, and Coach Nick led them to a 7-3 record. And their reward is playing 7-3 CB West. So that's keep my eyes on that game. We've got a photographer going to that game, so that's a great game. I like that game.
That's gonna be a great game too. Old Suburban 1 battle.
All right, now it gets easy, guys. Because nobody's playing this week on the other side of the bracket. Literally.
Yeah, not really.
Central York has a bye. Cedar Cliff and Cedar Crest are playing. Wilson and York High play next week. We'll talk about them next week. Harrisburg plays next week. Cumberland Valley and Central Dauphin play this week. Manheim Township, Hempfield play next week. McDowell and State College play next week. Wilkes-Barre and Harrisburg Hazelton play this week.
Yeah.
Williamsport and Scranton play this week. That's it.
Yeah, that's a bad part of the bracket, unfortunately.
This is a horrible bracket.
It's really bad. Yeah.
I mean,
it's weird. Like, it's strange to see District 2 on that west side of the bracket, but there they are, because whoever wins that's probably getting State College.
Yeah, probably.
And the last time Williamsport and State College played, it didn't end up very good.
No. I was at that game, and I love the job that Mike Pearson has done at Williamsport. The second half of the season, they just had a murderer's row. I just checked it out. You have Jersey Shore, Shamokin, Berwick, and Hollidaysburg is a 4-game stretch before your final game. you know,
And that
the
was
last
the
regular
year.
season, and oof.
That was the breakout game for Berwick's running back.
Yeah,
That was his breakout game.
Yeah, well, here's the thing on that part of the bracket. So Wilkes-Barre just played Williamsport this last weekend and lost.
Yep.
So, and it's looking like it's going to line up again. We've been talking about it for weeks. It's going to be Wilkes-Barre and Williamsport, and it'll be at Wilkes-Barre. I mean, hard to beat a team twice, but like you got to beat a team too. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. They're gonna
doesn't matter.
They're gonna play. Right. Yeah, they're gonna play State College over at Mifflin County.
Right, exactly. It's over.
And that'll be the end of that. Right. Manheim Township, all these teams. I guess we'll just talk about them next week. But if I had to pick two teams that were going to go, let me first just say this: I wasn't surprised by it, but what a game Manheim Township and Wilson was last week, 14-7. Township squeaked that out. Fear the beard. You don't beat the beard twice.
No.
So Wilson's coming out of the top of the bracket. They're going to have to play Central New York. They'll probably get by York, but we're likely to see Harrisburg and Manheim Township. And then we get to see possibly Harrisburg and Wilson again. I think it's Harrisburg. And I'm going to go out on a limb, and I want to say Parkland, but I think it's LaSalle this year.
Yep. I think that's
we really didn't even talk about the biggest game in the state this week with St. Joe's Prep and LaSalle playing again. LaSalle got them in the regular season last year. They got them in the regular season this year. But LaSalle lost in the playoffs last year to Prep. This game's at Villanova Saturday afternoon. I'll be there. I've actually seen LaSalle play 3 times already this year. I think I'm an alumnus at this point. I'll see him for a 4th time. LaSalle's an awesome team, man. Super talented. I saw him play PCC out in Pittsburgh. I saw him play Malvern Prep in Ocean City, and then St. Joe's Prep at Franklin Field. And every time I see him, they look better and better. I gotta believe. Go ahead, Willie.
You come into Philly twice this week. We might have to make you a honorary member of the Philly crew.
I just tell them I know you. They let me in right away, Willie. But I think it's we're on a collision course for Harrisburg and PCC again in the semis, and then winner of that game gets LaSalle.
Yep.
I disagree.
Agreed.
If ever there's a year to go against the St. Joseph Prep, this is the year. So I haven't seen LaSalle in person yet, but I trust Matt and Billy, and I'm gonna actually say it's gonna be LaSalle. The East semifinal is gonna be LaSalle versus Downtown West.
I mean, you think about what we're talking about. So we're talking about possibly St. Joe's Prep not being in the state championship game for the first time since 2013.
I will say that if somehow
that's like when we talk about,
if somehow St. Joe's Prep beats LaSalle, I think Parkland is in a state final.
That's really interesting. Really
2012 is the last time we did not see St. Joe's Prep in a state championship game.
And that was the last time a District 1 team made the state championship.
And there's only one other team we've talked about in that kind of fashion, Southern Columbia. I mean, that's the only other team we've talked about like that, Southern Columbia. Like last year, we were like, are we really going to have a state title game without Southern Columbia? And this year, we're actually talking about it. So it's probably the year St. Joe's Prep says, nah, we're going.
Could be. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised with that either.
That's right. Not count out Tim Wilkin.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You cannot count out Tim Wilkin and his team.
I'm with you.
I've done that, made that mistake too many times.
You can't. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of teams out there. I'm excited for my. It's not going to pick up, is it? Come on, pick it up. There it is. My little guy.
Berwick.
You can't get him. My little bottle topper. He's not a Berwick. He's a Penn State guy, but I'm covering that up. But I keep this guy up here on my bench. I keep helmets. I have all kind of stuff up here, all kind of football memorabilia, and I'm really excited because it's playoff time, and this is the time of the year that I wait for the most, and I know you guys do too. It's also the sad time of the year because I know this might be the last week of the year we have Thursday football. And so it's closing down. We got 6 more weeks to go, folks. This was the Bracket Breakdown Show on PA Football News. Thanks for tuning in on CWTAP. Guys, any last shots for the brackets?
No, it might be one of the last weeks you get some decent weather on Friday, Saturday, so you better get out there before it gets too cold.
Agreed.
That's right. Get out there and see a football game. That's it. I'm Billy Splain. This has been the State of PA Football, our Bracket Breakdown Show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you along the sidelines somewhere next week.
At PAFootballNews.com, we've got you covered. If you're looking for the best coverage of high school football in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, check out PAFootballNews.com. From schedules to rankings, game coverage to Friday night scoreboard, live streams, and more, PA Football News is the one-stop shop for everything high school football in Pennsylvania. Follow us on Twitter at PA Football News and visit us at PAFootballNews.com. We got you covered.
And welcome back to the State of PA Football.